Before using the DakStats volleyball software for the first time, the ACAC suggests a few simple steps to help make in-game use easy and efficient. Be familiar with the DakStats volleyball software in the game of volleyball. It is highly recommended that the statistician recognizes volleyball plays and the stats being tracked and recorded before game time. Some helpful hints include taking stats while watching samples videos from previous seasons on ACAC.tv. For the best result, it is recommended to have a spotter viewing the game while a second person does the recording. It is very important to have a good spotter. The spotter is a person who watches the game and tells the recorder the plays as they happen. The recorder can then concentrate on entering stats rather than looking back and forth between the game and the computer screen. Having a spotter who pays close attention to the game and has a good understanding of the game will help the user enter data more quickly into the program. The spotter also needs to relay information accurately. We suggest answering the questions, which team, who, and did what. For example, Briarcrest, number 14, kill, number 8, assist. It is also helpful to have pens and paper handy in case the recorder falls behind or if there are any technical difficulties with the laptop or software. You are now ready to go start using DakStats Volleyball. The first thing you want to do before each game is check with each coach and confirm the lineup and jersey numbers of his players. In this example, we have number 8, Angela Wasson, number 14, Stephanie Isaac, not playing this evening, and Ellie Wendo is wearing jersey number 8. We also want to confirm with the remaining players that in DakStats they are using these jerseys for this game tonight. To start recording stats for volleyball, you pick your season, men's and women's, the team, and then under the schedules you will have a full list of all your games. To edit any of the information particular to a game, you can select the game, then click Configure. Make sure this entry mode is box score game by game. The date is correct. The visiting team, the home team. If this was entered incorrectly, there is a little button to swap the home and visitor teams. It will ask if you want to confirm. So the visiting team and home team has swapped, and make sure the game type is conference. The start times are correct. If they're not, you can just change them by typing in the number or with up and down arrow keys. Make sure the number of games is 5 and save the match. So that's the game I just edited. Augustana at Briarcrest, August 30th, 6 o'clock. To start recording stats for the game, you can double click on each game or select it and hit open. Once the game is open, you'll see on the top left corner the scores for each game. These are points, first set, second set, third set, fourth, and fifth. GWs is games won or sets won. And then to the right of that is select game. So this is the first game of the match. And in volleyball, it's a best of 5 games to win the match. For each of the games, it's the first team to 25 winning by 2 points. And then if it goes to the 5th game, it's the first team to 15 points, again winning by 2 points. So first thing we need to do is, before starting all this, was to check with the coach to see who is in the lineup or if the jerseys are correct or the right people. Broadcast had 3 players that had changed. So you can do that by, once the game is started or opened up, you can go right to configure at the top, rosters, This was our season that we're just using for our tutorial. We're looking at Briarcrest. We had Angela Watson, number 8. She was crossed off, so she may have been injured. So we're just going to give her a large jersey number so that she falls to the bottom of the list. So say 99. Save. Another one was Stephanie Isaac. She has jersey number 14, so she was crossed off, or she's not playing this weekend. So we'll give her 99 as well. Another person was Ellie Wendell. She's listed as jersey number 15. She was marked as having jersey number 8. And then just check with other players on the team. Their rosters are correct. For example, Brooke Peterson was jersey 1, Reagan Kuhlman is jersey 2, and so on. So once that's all saved, you can close that screen. Then as you see for Briarcrest, click on the name or the row. On the top, you'll see the name, Angela Watson. So we gave her jersey number 99, so she fell to the bottom of the list. The other one was number 99, Stephanie Isaac, so that she fell to the bottom list. And Ellie Wendell was jersey 8, as Ellie Wendell. This is a little bit of a bug, so you can just click on the tabs and then click back. So stats here has been lost. I'll click on pass rating tab, and then I'll flip back to stats, and they have appeared. If you move your mouse over each of the columns, GPs, it will give you a little tooltip of what each of the letters stand for. GPs, games played, GS, game started, Ks for kills, As for assists, SA for service aces, dig for digs, BS for block solos. So I'm just going to, all these other columns here we don't really need, so I'm just going to slide the columns over so they're a little bit smaller. If you accidentally close one of the columns that you're taking stats on, it's tough to get back. If you're lucky, you may be able to get it back. So great there. If I inadvertently close down kills and try to get them back, it may be tough. So as you can see, I haven't been able to get kills back. The best way to get all these back is to close the game, file, close match, and double click to reopen the game. And as you can see, all the columns have reappeared. Unfortunately, all the other columns that we did try to hide have reappeared, so you'd have to go through the task end of closing some of the columns. So this is box score by game. So we're going to record stats for each of the games in the match. This is for game 1. So this is pretty much a spreadsheet kind of style, and we're just going to start entering stats for game 1. For the starters in each game, you can GPs or games played. For each of the starters, you can give them a number. So this is game 1. They're only going to play once in game 1. Or games played is in game 1 will be 1. You can type in the number on each cell, or you can left double click to increase each of the numbers, or you can use the plus sign on the top right of your screen. So there, Augustin has 7 players, 6 starting players, and a libero at the start of the game. During a game, if a person comes in as a sub, so for example, number 16, Jenny Laskowski, if she came in the game to serve or play some back row as a sub, I would increment that by 1 and then start recording stats again. So again, you can increment any of these numbers by double clicking. By the plus on the top right, or the plus sign on your keyboard. In the same way you could decrease some of the numbers, you can press a minus sign on your keyboard. The minus sign on the top right of the screen, or right double click. Or you can just go in and type the number. If you've recorded the stats through pen and paper and you're just transferring the stats from pen and paper to the software here, you can just go in and type the numbers directly. 6, 4. And then on top left is you can do the same thing. You can increase the points. So left double click will increase the points, or plus on the top right of your software. If you accidentally gave them a point, you can decrease it. Minus or right double clicking will decrease it. Or you can type in the number directly. So the first set may have been 25 to 19. Then as you can see, I tried to update some of the points for the other teams. I can't, because this is box score by game. Once I want to go to the second game, I choose in the drop down box game 2. So all the stats have reset because this is game 2. And as you can see, I'm in the second game column for points. So once the game starts, again, I'm going to look at the lineup, look on the court, see who the starters are. So this is game 2. Again, the maximum games that she can play in the second game is 1. And then you repeat recording the stats for game 2. So at the end, GW's is games 1. When you type in the scores of each game, it will automatically choose the winner. You don't have to edit the last column. And you continue on with game 3 and so on up to game 5 for the best of 5. So as you can see, I've entered some stats. This is the 4th game. I've entered the scores. The final of the game is Broadcrest 3 games to 1. The set scores or game scores are 19 to 25, 25-19, 25-23, 26-24. Broadcast has won 3 games to 1. These are stats for the 4th game. These are the stats for the 3rd game. If any time during a game, say in the 3rd set, there was perhaps a change in jersey due to blood being on the jersey or something, or the jersey being ripped. Say number 10, Catherine Laskowski, if she changed her jersey because she got blood on it, you can go back to configure, as we did before, configure roster. Augustana, we're looking at Laskowski, number 10. So she switched her jersey, so I'll just change her player number here. Now she's temporarily wearing jersey number 14. I'm gonna save it and close it. And because we were on the screen, the stats had disappeared, so we'll just flip back from each tab. And now we have number 14, Laskowski, had her jersey changed. Catherine Laskowski, number 14. Then looks like there's another Laskowski, possibly her sister. You can tell which one by clicking on the row or clicking on the name. Again, on the top, her name appears right there. Once a game is complete, you can go game control, match finished. Do you wish to update the team winner loss records? This is automatically done, so you don't really have to do anything. No. Once that is complete, to web sync this particular game, web sync game. This is grayed out because we're in a demonstration season. You have a narrow window of opportunity to web sync this game, so this will only appear in black once a game starts in about an hour after each game. Another way of web syncing is to go to web sync setup, find that was Briarcrest women's volleyball, type in your password, and then synchronize. This will web sync all the games in the season. One of the benefits of having box score by game is you can go to File, Print in Game. You can print the details of each set or whichever set you're in. Say after the first set, we've entered the stats for only set game 1. I only want to view that. The benefits of having this box score by game is you can print off stats during or after each game. So you can go to File, Print in Game, or Control I. Box score details. Say I want the first set after the first game. I want to view the stats. I can press View. Right here are the stats for the first set. You can tell by on the bottom left of the stat sheet, it's set number 1 or game number 1. Right there. You can also print off the game of each of the sets. So say on the third set, after third set, I want to view the stats only for the third set. And here are the stats for the third set. Again, on the bottom left corner of the stat sheet, you can see this is game or set number 3. The stats only pertaining to game number 3. Once the game is finished and you've printed off the stats for the coaches and web synced, you want to export the file or match. So under File, Export Match. For your men's and women's seasons, you choose your season, choose a team, your team. For example, we were Augustana in the demo season. The file you want to export is DakStats star.txt file, and you're going to export it to this directory in gray here at the bottom. If you want to change that directory, you click on the directory button, and I put in my folders or Daktronics, DakStats Volleyball. You get, if you want to, you can put it in your on your desktop or a folder that's on your desktop. You only have to do that once. Once that is chosen, hit export, and you'll export a DakStats.txt file. It shows you where you've exported the file to, and the file is it's a big long name for the file, but it's easy to read. VB stands for volleyball. 08 was for August. 30 was the day, so August 30th, 2014. ACA 1000 is your school ID number, so that was, I believe, for Augustana. ACA 1000. W or M is women's or men's game. And the last number, one or two numbers, is an arbitrary number to distinguish all the games. And then .text file. Press OK and done. And once the match is exported, you can go to File, Close Match. To check to see where your file's at, you can open up your Explorer. I had put mine under Anthony, Daktronics, DakStats Volleyball. And looking at the date, there's a text file that I exported. Again, VB Volleyball 08 August 30th, 2014. ACA 1000 was the college ID, W for the women's game, and game number 12. In that file, I'm just going to email to the ACAC statistician, Murray Green. If you've ever had to go back and correct some stats, you can do that at any time. We chose the August 30th game. That's what we just entered stats on. Double click to reopen that game. So again, this is in box score by game mode. You can choose each game to look at the stats. I find the best way to correct stats is actually unfinish this game. So go to game control, match finished. So it's unchecked. Go to view box score by match. This will summarize all the stats into one screen. So the select game is gone from here. This is a view box score by match. So all the stats have been accumulated. So as you can see, Michaela St. Jean, number 1, she played in all 4 sets. Her kills, or even all the players' kills, have been accumulated. All the other stats have been accumulated into one big spreadsheet. As well as all these can be edited as well. So I went to game control and finish. So I may want to correct some stats. For example, Michaela St. Jean, maybe she had 9 kills instead of 7. So I can just increase her kills by left double clicking. Your first time editing the stats, you'll get this warning that stating that you are editing the stats and you can't switch back to the previous mode that we had. This is what we want. So yes, I wish to continue. Again, let's grayed out some stats. Flipping tabs will get rid of that gray area. So we were looking at St. Jean Michaela, 9 kills, and perhaps number 3, Stephanie Zahara. She actually had 5 digs. I can just type in number 5. Maybe Martrunik didn't play at all, and I put her stats for kills on the wrong line. Maybe this should have been for number 11, Alana Fallman. So I can just type in all these numbers for, I'm transferring basically number 12 stats to number 11. So I'm just going to 14 there. That's the only stat. I'm going to 0 Martrinuk's stats out. Once I've corrected all the stats, I want to finish the game or lock the game. So I go back to game control, match finished. Again, do you want to update the records? Just updates automatically, so no. And so now that the game is locked or match finished, I can't go in and try to change any of the stats. Again, so once I'm done that, this actually WebSync game will be grayed out because it's well past an hour after the game has started. so it's probably a couple days later or the week after. The only way you can do web sync is web sync setup. This was for Augustana was the host. Type in password and synchronize. Because now these are corrected stats, I want to export this match. So re-export this game because these are corrected stats now. I already chosen the directory the previous time, so I don't have to choose it again. Export. It will give me a little warning that the file already exists, and that was the first file, but now this is the corrected stats, so I want to overwrite that, so yes. It's giving me the same location where it was before, again the same name for the text. If you notice that this is a wrong type, you can select the game. This is a play-by-play mode, PBP. We want box score, so you can go to configure. The entry mode is play-by-play. We want to choose box score game by game. Just check the other information is correct. You can edit if you need, and save the match. If you don't catch it, it's in play-by-play mode. You accident or you opened it expecting a box score by game mode. If you aren't able to go to box score by game mode through this screen under view, and this is grayed out, you'll have to close this game, delete it, and then recreate the game. Add new, the season that it's in. Entry mode, we want box score game by game. The date, I'm going to choose September 1, so it's easy to find. It was Briarcrest at Augustana. It's a conference game. It was a 6 o'clock start. I'm just going to give it a default of 2 hours, so 8 p.m. end time. Save match. Done.